Oh, are we live? Are we live? Hello, my baby gorillas! I don't know if we're live. Let's just check if we're live. Come on, are we live? Oh, we're live. We're live. Oh my goodness, fantastic! Hello, my baby gorillas again. There we go. Twice in 1 minute. What we've got for you today. I needed to get this done. Fantastic, guys! Absolutely unbelievable. This isn't King Ming of Flash Gordon. This isn't Ming the Merciless. This is a lovely fella, and his name is Thomas Laird. Great guy, lovely, absolutely super fellow. He is the leader of the Scottish Libertarian Party. I know he looks like King Ming out of Flash Gordon, but he's not. Absolutely dynamite guy. So he does very good speeches outside the Parliament. You still go down and listen to him, join the Scottish Libertarian Party, give them money, or vote for the Scottish Reform Party. I believe it's a transferable vote, so you can vote for both the Scottish Libertarian Party and the UK Reform Party. You can do your preferences, one or two. I would suggest you vote for either or both. So put the Scottish Libertarian and Reform UK as 1 and 2, either or, whatever your choice is. But I just came across this. I hadn't seen this, and Tam doesn't tell me if he's going to these things, so I can record them, put them up in the Guerilla TV channel. So let's have a wee listen to what old Thomas is saying. Thomas the Tank Engine.
In front of the Holyrood home for the eternally corrupt, criminal and insane.
Well, he's not wrong.
It's now been over a year since the UK and the Scottish governments inflicted these completely unnecessary, unjust, unreasonable and totally inhuman as they are devastating restrictions upon us all.
So I would suggest that a lot of people have put up with this. I'm very surprised that Scottish people actually tolerated this. And I'm very surprised. I wouldn't be tolerating it at all. So I'm very surprised that people have just allowed this to go on and be kowtowed by the Conservatives and the SNP and locked in their homes over a virus that's 99% to 99.5% survivable. And having our economy destroyed by Nicola Sturgeon.
Time we've witnessed criminal stupidity on an unprecedented scale.
Yeah, which is not true. And more than just the lockdown of the COVID on what's happened to children in school. There's a whole variety of things that Tam is actually going to touch on just now.
Resulting in economic disaster.
But this is going to be horrendous once this actually comes out, by the way, because there's so many businesses now shut down. It's going to be terrible for entrepreneurs. Nicola Sturgeon just gets money anyway. She doesn't have to set up businesses or do anything. She just gets money from the public purse.
Mass unemployment and misery meted out to an entire population.
All over Britain, all over the UK, this is happening.
With callous indifference. Once again, I have to point out that Sturgeon and Johnson, the unfunniest comedy duo since Little and Large, continue their peeing contest to see who can do the most damage to their respective constituents. But once again, I have the misfortune to announce that wee sister takes both the laurel and the crown.
Yeah, I mean, she's been a disaster. So many things. Once you start looking at Nicola Sturgeon's, if you take out the independence, I understand why people want independence, I get it. But once you take out the independence, and what Tam's party, the Scottish Libertarian Party, want independence outside of the EU, and Nicola Sturgeon wants, well, it's not independence, to be governed by the EU 28 unelected commissioners. But Tam's going to touch on this.
Congratulations, Nicola. Anything Boris can do, you can do 10 times worse. Yeah, let's hear it for me, sister.
Not very popular in Scotland. Nicola Sturgeon.
Okay.
She will be ousted this week, Davey. Well, Hugh, you knew I was right, didn't you? Did I get it on the money, Hugh? Was it on the money months before anybody else? Did I say it was going to happen before it happened? Before anybody was even really talking about resigning, I told you it was going to have to happen. I said it in November, so this is March. So what's that? About 15 weeks, I said. So it was pretty much in parliamentary terms. I said it was going to happen in a matter of weeks. So 15 weeks.
Okay. So, but lest we forget...
And I think Sweeney will be for the high jump in the next day or so he'll go. He's finished.
We do need to purge...
Was this rally today? February the 16th. Unfortunately, I wish Tam had informed me. We'd have gone down and reported this. David, the reason is the programming, the relentless browbeating and guilt tripping. Of course it is. Of course that's what they're doing. That's what the media are doing. This is what the Guerilla TV are here to do, to give a different point of view than the mainstream media. Sometimes the mainstream media get it right. That's a problem. I mail in, get her out, and Sweeney, and get the rest of them out too. Yeah, disaster for Scotland. We need new political entities like Tam Laird in the Scottish Parliament. Tam would be a much better addition to the Scottish Parliament than a lot of the people in there, because it's not what Tam looks like or what Tam, even the political party, it's what Tam represents, which is liberty for the Scottish people. I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked that we've gone down an authoritarian, less liberty-minded approach. That's certainly not the sort of Scotland, an independent Scotland I would want to live in. So that's certainly something. Let me just get this one from Teresa. The reason is programming, the relentless browbeating and guilt tripping, making people heroes and others villains. It's CIA, yeah, definitely is, yeah. People becoming more depressed and susceptible. Yeah, just don't do it. Don't comply. I think the Rangers supporters were not complying the other day. Obviously, Humza Useless is a Celtic supporter as well as being a member of the Child Rapist Death Cult. Spotting me, Cranky must be changing her knickers this week. She's been a complete no-show for the COVID briefing last week. I think the Parliament Fabinini inquiry are going to have to recall her, because now that they've leaked more information, that I think it contradicts her statements when she was giving her testimony. So I think they're going to have to recall her again, which is going to cause even more problems.
It's the Sturge. But we forget that the threat to life and liberty from Sturgeon's notional party won't go away.
He doesn't call them the Gimp Party yet, but he's got into Humza Useless patter. But he'll be soon, he'll be calling them the Gimp Party, I'm sure, Tam. Yeah, so he's calls them the notional nationalists, because they're not really nationalists.
Just because we cut off the head of the snake. Waiting in the wings, we have the likes of Humza Useless.
Humza Useless, he must be watching the Guerilla TV channel. You watching the Guerilla TV channel? Tam, get in contact, guerillatvchannel@gmail.com, and we'll come down and film you next time you're doing any speeches. I'll help.
The alleged Justice Secretary.
Who wants to put us in jail? Who wants to put us all in jail? The Islamo-fascists, remember? Muslim child rape, Islamo rape, Muslim child rape culture that is Islam.
A man with such contempt and hatred for the people of the country that gave his family refuge and allowed him to attain high office, that he spits out the word white.
So he's an Islam fascist and an anti-white racist in a predominantly white country. I don't understand why anybody's voting for him. Celtic was made by an Irish Republican. It doesn't respect child abuse cultists. You've been facetious.
It was so venomous that it was a disease. Well, let me tell you something about white privilege, Humza. My parents weren't wealthy enough to send me to Hutchie Grammar School. And that's the same for everybody that's gathered here today. So don't you dare try to tell me about privilege. Do not be duped by the SNP's talk of freedom and independence. They don't know the meaning of either. Make no mistake, their proposed second referendum has nothing to do with Scottish independence and everything to do with a second Brexit referendum.
Because obviously we know that the SNP are a Gimp party, and that's what Tam's talking about, the globalist side. They want to move towards the one world government. Nicola Sturgeon went to the Council of Foreign Relations in America to pledge her allegiance and not their allegiance to the Scottish people, which also is reflected in the fact that people who weren't even born here are now head of the SNP's regional list, and the Islamofascists, more Islamofascists, will be in the Scottish Parliament if you vote for the SNP at the May election.
Nicola Sturgeon, what are the EU paying you to betray your own country?
Yes!
What cushy number have you and your Quisling traitor confederates been promised? By the lucrative retirement home for political failures that is the European Commission. I say these things to remind you that our freedom and individual rights and liberties were under threat before this panicdemic. COVID is merely the gift that keeps on giving to the authoritarian slime that infests that building. Hitler, Stalin and Mao could only dream of the powers that they have and the technology they have to oppress us. They try to tell us that they care about people, but what care do they have for the suffering they inflict on the people with their crass foolishness and cowardice? They tell us that lives are more important than the economy. Well, what they mean is that their lives are more important than the economy. The economy is lives. It's jobs, it's families, it's the supply chain. It's a health service that will be bankrupt by the coming financial debacle. The economy was in ruins, aided and abetted by the stupidity of Sturgeon and Co. before COVID. Now we're headed for the greatest financial crash since 1929, and our government fiddles while the country burns. We need to end this lockdown madness now.
Yes!
Yet, while Hums's hate speech bill gathers momentum, a bill so insidious it will criminalise you for what you say and read within the confines of your own home. Though, as things are going, we'll no need to worry because none of us will have a home.
And we'll like it.
Aye, and you'll like it as well. What are the opposition up to? What great ideas have the Scottish Conservatives have to...
The SNP will never sacrifice the trappings of power for uncertainty of independence. Just keep the seats warm.
Offer. What valiant efforts are Dougie Ross and co involved with to stop the SNP? Well, Dougie is out to save the Union. The UK Union, that is, not the European Union. Although his predecessor, Ruth Davidson, was a committed Euro-communist. We have the Unionists versus the E-Unionists, and neither care about Scotland or its people. Neither care about the collar. They only care about who's holding the leash. The goddamn ship has hit the iceberg and is sinking fast. And what does Dougie Ross want to argue about? Whether the ship's band should be playing God Save the Queen or Scotland the Brave. It's an irrelevance. Absolutely. Where is your opposition to the hate crimes bill? Where's your opposition to the erosion of our civil liberties and free speech? Where's your opposition to the destruction of the economy and Wee Sisters' draconian lockdown? Nowhere to be found. If it wasn't for the Union, your party would have nothing else to exist for. Nothing. What are the Scottish Conservatives actually for? Anybody? It's certainly not to protect us from the excesses of the National Party, because they both are singing for the same woke hymn sheet. They may argue about the tune, but it's the same lyrics. Do us all a favour, Dougie. Take a break from refereeing football matches and start doing your job. Start opposing in a meaningful way. The clue is in the title, opposition.
Yes.
You and the Conservative Party have equal blame in the destruction of this great nation because you
They were saying how bad the Rangers fans were yesterday. It was great watching all of the smoke bombs go off. Yeah, it was, pal. Of seeing how celebrating and no mass. Yeah, Rangers and Scottish people generally don't really care about rules. So that's why I'm very surprised that they've been allowed to be kowtowed into this. Seeing him celebrate at no mask, folk have had enough of it. Nicola Sturgeon under external lockdowns, yeah, totally. We will see the opposition now, David. Cross-party census seems to be looming over Cranky, yeah. I think Sweeney will be the first to go, but Nicola Sturgeon will have to, I reckon, either email in, open up like Texas. Sweeney will be the first to go, and then it'll be Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola Sturgeon will be recalled in front of Parliament, the Parliamentary Committee, Fabinini Committee.
Black vision and are devoid of anything remotely resembling courage. So what's to be done?
Hang them.
It's tempting. Tam, you've painted this grim vision of dystopia for us. We already know the problem, but what's the solution? There's no simple answer, but first and foremost, we must end this useless and destructive lockdown. We must show our defiance in the face of tyranny. Take courage from our brothers and sisters in England, Italy, Austria and Netherlands. We stand with them physically and in spirit in their fight. What can they do to us? Fine us, we will not pay. Lock us up, we're already locked up, you clowns. At this rate, being put in jail might break the monotony. Businesses must reopen and we must lend them our support. How about a mass lock-in in a pub? Good luck to anybody trying to get me out of an open pub. We have to continue to make our voices heard over the silence of the legacy media. Nicola Sturgeon, Boris Johnson, let the people go! We must resist mandatory vaccinations as a violation of individual rights. My body, my choice.
My body, my choice, correct. That's a fine fellow there, yeah, he is. Yeah, he's a good guy. Sweeney's no confidence vote will be at the arm twist of the SNP, yeah. They're either going to have to release the rest of the documents, destroy them, or do something because they're going to be in a big problem. They're going to have a big problem now. Brilliant that, yeah, it is, Malin. I've been jailed for 12 months. House arrest, yeah, exactly. So we're not exactly missing anything, are we?
Nice. Give the job to those who want it by all means, but leave me out. But most of all,
he's saying that he's basically just saying there that vaccines should be a choice, not compulsory, and we certainly shouldn't be having any green cards or anything authoritarian like that either. So we won't be allowing that to happen either. But the more libertarians in the parliament, the better for everybody concerned.
People, we have to force big government back behind the ramparts and into its cage where it belongs. It's government that needs to be locked down and oppressed, not the people.
Yes.
We need to start taking care of each other. We need to start taking care of each other in our communities, in our families. As long as we ask government to feed, clothe, house, educate and medicate us all, we will pay the price, and that price is freedom. We're like teenagers who demand that our parents don't tell us how to live our lives, but then we put out our hand and ask for £100 for trainers. If you take the man's money, you'll take his rules. If you make the state your God, that God will demand that you stay on your knees and worship it. It's time to say no, no, no. Sturgeon and Johnson, let the people go.
Glad they had fun at the footy. Shame they came out for. That's a great comment, Marcia. Glad they had fun at the footy. Shame they didn't come out of the footy, but not for our freedom. That's exactly right, mate. That's exactly right, Marcia. Brilliant comment. Yeah, very sad that the Rangers fans and the Celtic fans and whoever in Scotland did not come out for freedom. Well, I've been in jail, but I think that might have been the start because of the celebrations. That might be the key to unlock the thing in the first place. Well, I've been in jail 12 months too, still going to keep up lockdown till end of 2 years, Bill. Then they will try to extend it again, praying for justice for the people. Well, start voting for the Scottish Libertarian Party, start voting for parties that oppose the lockdown, and then that'll more likely to happen. He's quite funny. Tam's quite funny.
Tam Laird, I'm from the Scottish Libertarian Party. If you thought I was a dick, her name's been Owen Jones.
So let's have a look and see what's on Twitter. If there's anything on Twitter. Rangers fans, an absolute disgrace, says Sweeney. Laugh out loud. See Conservatives talk down on Meghan Markle instead of supporting her as independent women who made the best choice for her family, and pretty obvious why the GOP struggles with young people and women. Who's this? Here to talk about energy, Conservative and capitalism. The AAC National Eve Light Visiting Fellow Forbes. I don't know who this character is. Danielle Butcher. Don't know her. Vote Smart, Save Our Scotland. So Georgie Porgy at Galloway wants us to all vote for unionist parties, which is just if you're voting for the Lib Lab Con party to try and save it, save your freedom, you're wasting your vote. Yeah, read all about the climate lockdowns next year with charge. Who is in charge? Tam's in charge, Catherine, of the Scottish Libertarian Party. He's the head guy there. He made the speech there. Marco's marbles, absolute screwball, that lassie. Is that what you think? What is it with all these women? They complain about dick pics, but all I see is naked women on Twitter. That's it. I've not subscribed, so I just want to show this as well. This is some rather buxom lady. I'm not subscribed to this, and it just pops up. Oh, here we go. We'll get a laugh at this.
Women's Day. Hello and happy International Women's Day.
Oh, fantastic.
The government, the SNP,
happy
made
International
a
Women's
number
Day,
of
ladies.
progressive moves to improve the lives of women and girls, both here in Scotland and across the globe. Scotland became the first country in the world to ensure access to free period products for anyone who needs them under an SNP government. And we also
did I get free condoms? Am I getting free condoms? I mean, it's not really free, it's paid by somebody else, isn't it? This is just a socialist policy, let's be honest.
In our partner countries through our international development programme. A majority SNP government led by First Minister Nicola Sturgeon can protect and build on this progress after COVID. So let's make it both votes SNP on the 6th of May.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I would vote in Scottish Libertarian Party, thanks. Douglas Ross calls on SNP to stand up to this SNP, calls on MSPs to stand up to the SNP government. Sturgeon said today that the country doesn't have the appetite for my resignation. Oh, really? Oh, I don't think so. Happy International Fake Allegiance Day, yeah. That's it here. That's her private stash of pictures there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, she's quite attractive. I might subscribe to her. Who's that? Well, I'm following her off. You definitely get taste. The British are quite like this guy. We need more billionaires. The only reason I'm not a billionaire is because there's not enough billionaires role models out there, which is true. And there has been more billionaires than as a little boy. have felt inspired to become a billionaire. Yeah, we definitely do need more billionaires in Scotland. The world is our oyster. Too busy talking about race and absolute nonsense by the SNP and to actually be developing the economy. The UK government is supporting Scotland's response to coronavirus. In 21, it provided £38 billion to the Scottish government. Every £100 per person that the UK government spends in England. The Scottish government will receive £129 per person to spend in Scotland. This is because public services are more expensive to run in Scotland. And shows the benefits of sharing resources across the UK. So that's obviously from the Tories. Yeah, I don't vote for the Lib Lab Con Party either. Georgie Porteous' Alliance for Unity nonsense is just a way to get the Lib Lab Con Party back in. You need to be clever on that. Vote for the Scottish Libertarian Party. Don't vote for the Lib Lab Con Party, the SNP, the Greens. That's a private stash. Save that picture. If Douglas Ross gets her out, he's a bloody hero. Well, I think it's me that got her out, to be honest with you. I think it's me that's the hero. Seemed like an absolute tosspot to begin with. He's been growing a pair recently. I noticed watching. Yeah, he is. He's starting to get better as well. Still wouldn't vote for them. I would vote for the something else, whatever else is there. Scottish Libertarian Party, UK Reform Party, somebody else, somebody other than the Lib Lab Con Party. The Scottish Government will receive £120 per person, but the SNP will waste it on a salmon trial. That's right, you. I've started appreciating Britain the older I got. Neil Oliver should be knighted. Yeah, Neil Oliver's a great guy. There's another vagina. Oh my God, what is it? What's happening? My goodness. It's all just naked chicks. Dave Rubin, word two of my friends are trending in Twitter, and without even clicking their names, you know it's going to be BS. Ben Shapiro and Megyn Kelly. So who else have we got? So let's see Mr. Sarwar, if Mr. Sarwar's interacting. There's Anis. So, Mr. Sarwar's blocked the Guerilla TV channel from asking any questions. Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know that an Islamofascist and anti-white racist like Humza Useless is now in charge of the Labour Party, another GIMP party, and doesn't want to answer any questions from the Guerilla TV channel. That's very interesting, isn't it? That pictures, and that's your pictures, Davey. It's not my pictures. I'm not following these people. So I'll show you the next time that I'm not following these people. These things are coming up on my timeline. I'll show you the next vagina. See? Oh, right, look. See, I'm not following it. See? You can see. Not following. And it's still coming up. Here's Jess. So I'm not following any of these people. They're just coming up. Sarwar is a very nasty guy. Yes, he is, John. He's a very nasty guy. Not a nice guy. He's a fascist and an anti-white racist. Anus Sarwar. Denial, Davy. It's not denial. I just showed you. I'll show you the next one. I'll show you the next one as well. I'm not. If I was following them when they were coming up, I would understand. But I'm not following them. Cancel culture is a form of fascism. That's right. That's correct as well. It's this guy is in Egypt. This guy, he thinks Wing Pegasus took the moon split, and Wing Pegasus took Muhammad to heaven. Oh my goodness! So look, so I'm not following. You can see it's not this. This is me. Oh, there. See, this is me. I'm temporarily blocked. See, I'm blocked again. Let's try and follow it. Blocked. So I'm blocked. So even Twitter, so they're acting like absolute fascists. Every institution is acting like an absolute fascist. Sarwa can't tolerate state schools. Scott's only private educated. Yeah, he's an idiot. I'm just bamming you up, man. No, I know. I know you're doing that. I know you can understand them. You're probably on Twitter, John. You probably understand. You need to follow them. But they're just popping up anyway. Women are moaning about dick pics, but I mean, this, it's unsolicited, but all these pictures are unsolicited. I'm not bothered. I don't lose my mind over them, but they're just, obviously, it's not, I don't find naked women offensive, especially now that I'm actually a woman, and now I'm Daphne Valentine, and I'll be able to be the first transgender man to woman First Minister, lesbian First Minister. So I would like you all to address me as Daphne now rather than David, so I can fit into my role. I'm not changing anything. I'm just a lesbian transgender individual, but not changing anything. So I'll be, if you see me in a women's bathroom or getting kicked out of a women's bathroom, then I'll become the first transgender person, and then I'll be able to sue them or put the women in jail for not letting me into their personal spaces, because my name's Daphne Valentine now, transgender. So 7 years in jail, ladies, if you don't let me in. That's you, Terf's told. We believe you, Davey. Or is it Davina? It's Daphne. Whelan. It's Daphne Valentine. Daphne. Not Daphne. Daphne. Nee. So, I am now Daphne Valentine. What is going on with these women? Oh, there's John Smith. Now, John Smith was a competent politician. There's Georgie Porgy Galloway, who's an old commie. But actually, I think George should be elected this time. I wouldn't get too many communists in. They'll do funny ideas of their own authoritarianism. And we should be looking away from this and going for libertarian politicians, not authoritarian politicians. The authoritarian politicians have been a disaster. The late John Smith was a statesman and high class. Yes, I would agree with that as well. Was a statesman and high class. Yes, he was. He was a friend of mine. I'm a friend of yours, Georgie Porgy, even though you're a commie and simp for the CCP. But for his premature demise, there would have been no Tony Blair, and I believe no collapse of the Labour Party in Scotland. Just think about that. Yeah, that was great. I was glad when the Labour Party collapsed. But now we've got, instead of a bunch of Marxists, we've got a bunch of postmodernist Marxists. So we've got a bunch of SJWs in charge, a bunch of bedwetters. Oh my God! Oh, come on! Take a lesson listen to our podcast. I believe they were trying to ban or they had banned Raheem in some way. You should definitely listen to Raheem Kassam. He's a lovely fella. Oh, there's another vagina, some girl's butt. Megan, not even black. She's probably 80% plus white and looks white, but she's trotting out black suicidal victim of oppression. Oh, I think this lady's black. Melissa Tate. A suicidal victim of oppression when she is in the embodiment of privilege. What a narcissist. My goodness, Melissa, that's quite profound, isn't it? I think I'll follow her. Oh, no, I can't. The fascists at Twitter have not allowed me to. Oh, more boobs and bottom. Oh, my God, man, what is going on with this? Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's wee nippy. Where did we show? Oh. 2 out of 3 say Sturgeon should quit job if she's broken the rules. Yeah, we all know that anyway. I don't think that's very interesting. Sammed Inquiry by Michael Blakely, Scottish political editor. What is this guy? Democrats still face tricky path to gutting filibuster despite... I don't know. Oh, is that Lib Democrats? Oh, here we go. The illiberal, liberal, undemocratic Democrats.
There are new calls now to end the filibuster. Now, I know you and I have talked about this.
Yeah, that's enough of you. Palace staff called Prince Harry the hostage before his wedding. Yeah, seems the memes of Meghan and Harry's interview by Oprah. Yeah, I've not seen all of them. Only the gimps, if only the gimps that word for. I don't know what that means. Here is the thing, mate, but that won't work for you. Yeah, I'm going to be called Daphne. That will work. My name's Daphne. So here's some rather nondescript fat lady who is Claire Adamson. Throughout the 100-day countdown to SSP Scottish Parliament 21, I will be sharing 100 activities of the SNP government target of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2045. Scotland is to target net zero gas house emissions by 2045, but far the toughest strategy target in the world. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely no use to me whatsoever. Just plant more trees. Will the SNP miss like all the other targets? Broadband, broadband, public energy company, late children's hospital, late ferries, late. Target isn't an achievement when you have to have a track record of failure. Oh, Mrs. F. I think we'll follow. Oh, I can't follow them. Mrs. F's on the money. Oh, boobs and butts. I recall that Nicola Sturgeon even pointed out the NRS ones as the caveat during the briefings at the time. So the zero deaths thing was acknowledged to be a bit of a red herring, even while it was going on. Fair play. I see Nicola Sturgeon went with both lots of coronavirus death stats today, with the wider NRS ones as cautionary notes after the daily zero again figure. Gets good suggestions someone made there on Twitter. 28 days prior to death occurring, this week's more comprehensive figures will be published by the NRS tomorrow. That, of course, a stark reminder of the impact of this virus. It's still potentially very dangerous, and of course, my condolences again to anyone who's has suffered loss. Yeah, and mine. Oh, there's a wee boy jumping up and down. There's not really anything good here. Oh, there's Meghan Markle, Meghan Malarkey. Merkel trashed her dad on US TV today on tomorrow's GMB. Thomas Merkel will give his first exclusive interview in response. Oh my goodness. I love carbon. I always Karens who run for the SNP, yeah. Can't find anything good for us, guys. Oh my goodness, what's going on? No, I can't find anything good. Obviously, I don't know what's happened to all my newspaper guys. They're all not writing their articles, and all we're getting is, oh my god, what's going on? Right, that's enough of that. Right, I want to just show you Tam anyway. There's far too much other stuff going on. Let me just see what you said, Jeff. Sturgeon is hiding 300 care home deaths by not including hospital admissions in the tally. Of course they are. Of course they are. Mental Merkel dad wonders why he never used a rubber johnny. Oh, guys, you guys are too funny. It's in the early hours of the morning, so I'm going to love you and leave you. But I just thought I would show you Tam. Thought it was important to get Tam up and getting you voting for the Scottish Libertarian Party rather than any of the other clowns. So, love you guys. Love my baby gorillas. See you soon.